heard or have seen our Thanksgiving address that has been done in our districts. It is a new thing, really, that has been kind of embraced. You can see it in some of the artwork that's in the school. And really what it is, it's a Thanksgiving address, and it gives thanks to things on the earth, basic things that we should be thankful for every day. Every day, we believe that every day we wake up, that's a gift. And that we should be thankful for every day that we wake up here on this earth. And that everything on the earth was created and was given for our enjoyment as humans. Do you think about the water, the earth, it's giving thanks to those things working from the ground all the way up to the heavens. And the sun, the moon, the stars, things that in today's world we don't have to be so thankful for because we can make it artificially, or that we can, so we have gone away from that. But one thing that you should know, that working in our district, you might hear students talking about this Ganonyo address. You might hear they spoke Ganonyo at graduation. You might hear it, at a community social event if you attend. And again, that's really to kind of be the address that gives thanks to all those things. There's 20 elements. I just call them elements because I don't know what other way to call them that. And starts from the ground and works all the way up to the heavens. And so that is our Ganonyo address. If you think about this, back in the Longhouse days, these ceremonies would have been extremely important because our whole world, daily lives revolved around growing food, obtaining food, harvesting food, cleaning food, getting it ready for storage. That was the main, you could live the winter if you had good crop. So that should just make sense. Well, today, they're still really super duper important. So what we try to tell the students is that, that vegetable that you're eating or that corn that you're eating or whatever that you're providing on your tables, that came from somewhere. And that we should be thankful every time we put that into our bodies, that we should be thankful for that, because there's also an idea that, and the whole idea behind all this blessing of the seeds and this planting stuff is that our minds and our thoughts and our spirit is going into that seed, into the ground, into our Mother Earth, and that it's being, nurtured and with tender love and care, because we're going to take care of it. We're going to water it. We're going to make sure it's got sunlight. We're going to weed it, right? So that every time that we do that stuff, that our good thoughts, that Swatnigoyo, should be in that process too. That you don't want to do things. It's a general belief also that we don't cook things, or we shouldn't do things when we're angry, because that thought also gets put into our food and ingested, given to your families. So it's like a spiritual thing, right? We've gone so far away sometimes from those basic kind of understandings. There are certain times throughout the year in which these ceremonies are occurring that you might have, and why it's important for you to know these is because you might have students that are absent from your classes. And that's probably the biggest reason for you to know this, so that you have an understanding as to, first of all, that they're going to be gone, and second of all, kind of like what's going on or why. So those are really important. These are the ceremonies. I'm going to talk about them in just a second. I kind of hit on this already, that at ceremony time, those that are Longhouse families, again, I want you to understand that not all Seneca children go to the Longhouse, okay? That families who are Longhouse families at certain times throughout the year don't go, they'll be at our ceremonies. And during that time, we're taught, tradition tells us that our ceremonies are of utmost importance at that time. That during that time, school, work, extra recreational activities, those type of things are to stop. And that during those times, our ceremonies are the utmost importance. Not because if you think about it, we have to be live in two worlds. Those that are traditional Longhouse people, we live in two worlds. We have a non-native world that we gotta get up, we gotta go to work and not be on Indian time, you know, when we get there. But then we also have this other world which is super important, because if there's not gonna be anybody else that protects them other than our people and continues them other than our people. You can't go anywhere to do what we do here. So anyway, so that's what I mean, like, and so physical presence isn't the only requirement for you to be in the Longhouse. That when you're there, and we do this, we try to teach our youth, and we try to talk about this, that when we're there at our ceremonies, that's what should be here and here, not just your butt in the seat. Because the other thing that you should know is during our ceremony time is also that we don't like record it. There's no one with a camera. That's all forbidden. You might have people jotting a few notes, but they're usually the lead ones, or people who are studying certain speeches. Because sometimes in our ceremonies, it might be the only time that certain speeches are said. So that might be the only. So if you really think about the true importance of us having our children in those seats next to us while we're doing these ceremonies, that might be the only time that they can ever see it and it ever to be done. So it's super important. So, talk about that. Yeah. So here in the ceremonial cycle, I'm going to kind of briefly go through this. This is also in your guide. This is our cycle. You'll see we cycle through the seasons. And again, there is no set date. Things do get a little funky from time to time, like something might happen before something else. But really, it's all about the season and what's happening on the earth. And so if you cycle through, our main one, my grandmother would say, okay, you know, because if I would say like the most important one is midwinter, well, she would say they're all important, you know. So I don't want to make her mad. She's not here, but I know there's spies that will tell her. But anyway, our midwinter ceremony is not the most important one, but it's the longest one. It's the one that has the most involvement. And so we cycle through midwinter ceremony. We have Okiwe, which is our ceremony that we do to give respect and honor the deceased. And our house-to-house ceremony, that's one of those ancient medicine mass societies that do this. It's like a house cleansing ceremony, not like brooms and dustpans and that kind of stuff, but like spiritual cleansing. We have our thunder ceremony. We have a ceremony that gives thanks to the maple.